No, what? What are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we wasting the nade? You just died. You just died. You peeked into my angle. You just died. Hit a flank on the big window. We are jumping out for no reason at all. That was insane. Put yourself in their shoes. Maybe something you've never done in your life. If you do that, you'll be a better person and you'll be better at Rainbow Six Siege. Hey guys, welcome back to Spectating Nightmares. Today we're taking a look at Dennis, aka Certified Sigma 6. Dennis is a Copper 5 / Peak Silver 2. So this is probably a new season game. Season just came out, so we all reset. But realistically, we're looking at Silver skill level here. He's playing on Chalet, and he feels completely stuck. Classic, don't we all? Don't we all? That's okay, Dennis. We're gonna help you. We're gonna help you today. I mostly do well in my ranked games, having positive KDs and mostly picking good operators, but I just feel like this isn't where I should be. My teammates are bad, constantly selling, and I get put in 1v3 scenarios where I obviously lose. Okay. I feel like I have so much potential, but it's being wasted because I don't know how to capitalize on it. Hey, we've all been there, Dennis. We've all felt like this, you know, feeling like where you should be and you're so far from it and you can't figure out why. So I get it. Let's try to help him today. Chances are it's probably not his teammates, but that's fine. Accountability is the first step to getting better, boys. All right, Certified Sigma in the flesh, rocking the Flores, going to Mav. All right, the map pick is good. We are on Chalet. I'm gonna skip the drone phase. This is you can save your drone and pick it up, or you can drive it in and gather information. You want to do one of two things. So you guys got pre-placed drones. This is good. You want to drive in, kind of figure out who they are. That's great. You know they're top. You're picking your operator, OSA. Cool. I do recommend not playing OSA for most people, especially in like the silver ranks. So I think this is something that can just build bad habits and kind of force that stagnation, which is why I don't recommend OSA literally ever. Like I would never be like, you should absolutely play OSA. I would never say that. Why? Because I don't believe that's how this game should be played. Also, the new HUD is very weird. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like this. All right, so we're playing OSA. We're going to the K9 balcony. This is cool. This is fine. Are you going to take top fire? You got to be careful with sprays to this window. I mean, it probably won't happen here. This is good. I like the direct sight take. All you got to do is punch this. You know, this is completely useless. If you're playing a zombie, don't do this. Why? Because you can just punch it. You can just punch this down 3 times. I mean, they could like C4 it, which would be crazy. But yeah, you just punch that down. It's kind of a waste of a zombie. Okay, so this is the thing about this push is you gotta be careful of anyone playing top fire because they can see through this window and shoot you in the back of the head right now. So it makes more sense when nobody's playing here to just come take this control and hold this area. I mean, you could play Nomad, just air jab off the flanks or gridlock even. And then you get the wall for free and now their whole team is kind of pressured on site and locked down, and that's gonna be really difficult for the other team. So that's if this whole area is free, which requires literally just droning out library and then this area and then air jab and then air jab and then you're good to go. It's a little bit of risk, but not as much as you might think. So that's kind of necessary if you're going for this direct take again, because they can just hold from top fire, and if you're on defense you could sit here and you could just shoot people through this window and it's very, very easy. So careful of that. Oh, good. He's gonna punch down the barricade. That's good. No, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we wasting the nade? We're blowing up our team's drone and wasting a nade on a single zombie. Now careful, because if they swing this, you are dead. And tell me what the problem might be here. What do you think the problem is with this? Yeah, he could just shoot. He could blow your legs off. He could blow your legs off this entire time. Let me back it up 2 seconds. Look at the dock POV here. Okay, I don't like this that you can't even do a 5-second backup now. Anyway, completely exposing yourself. Oh, there's your head. That might be a spectator bug. I'm not gonna lie. Normally it doesn't. Oh no, wait, he just crouched again. He went. Okay, so before you put the shield, you want to crouch. That way you're crouched after you come out of the shield. It might be something people don't realize. So yeah. Also, this is a bad shield placement. Okay, my question to you is how can this shield placement be improved? Because right now what can happen is somebody's playing here, especially a guy with a shotgun, which a mute will play here a lot of time, a smoke, or you can do that if you don't. You can just peek over top of this shield, and now you have a shield that's actually working for the defense. This shield's actually working for them if you die, because they shotgun over the shield. They can swing the shield and look over top and shoot you in the head. And then they can peek off the shield to kill all your teammates exposed on the balcony. So this shield is actually really, really, really bad, because it's helping the other team. Now we'll see if Capcan can take him out. No, because he punches the shield instead of just shooting you. So if Capcan's just a little smarter, he doesn't punch the shield. He peeks over it and pre-fires you because now he's using it against you. And now you're dead and your team can no longer push this balcony because he's using an OSA shield against your own team. So that might be one of the reasons why you should not play OSA in this rank, is because this shield is actually bad. You're actually hurting your team with the placement of the shields. Now, if you want to do this better, you just back it up. You just put it down outside. That way, then when they peek this doorway, he can't peek up off the shield and he has no cover. Whereas you have cover, he can't melee it, and now you can still lock down this long angle without a guy swinging close and clapping your cheeks because you can sit behind the shield safely. So this is just a very complicated feature of the Osa shields that most players just don't understand. It's why I just say don't play Osa. It's not easy to play her well, and you can hurt your own team. The same thing about Castle. So I've said these things. You guys just, I promise you just need to listen. Like, go watch my beginner operator tier list and play those operators. They are simple, and you're not going to hurt your team, and you are going to rank up, and you're going to feel like you're doing better. Why? Because you actually will, and you won't be hurting your team in the process. So now I would just break this shield like it's punched and then put another one outside. Like, this is, again, giving them cover to peek up off of. Like, they can crouch up on this, peek your team. Same problem as before. So this is one of those situations where, like, yeah, it might be working for you right now in this round, but most of the time, it's actually an advantage you're giving the other team that isn't going to help. That's a nice kill. I mean, and that's how you would play the Osa shield, is playing it outside and just holding the angles off of it. So that's fine. You have cover. They don't. That's why you want to do this. Just grenade that. Get rid of it. Use your utility. Just break stuff, right? You want to just set up and break stuff, and you have that site pressure. And because you got the kills on site, look, your team can plant the bomb. Everything is free, and this is the easiest attack win of your life because you are doing this direct take. So very nice choice in how you wanted to execute this round. This is getting a little crazy, right? Your team is planting here. You don't have to push up. You can set your Osa shield right here and cover a post plant and be careful of a flank, or you can sit in here with your shield, and then you're in safe spot, and then you won't get flanked. Pushing through is probably the riskiest of them all because that's how you die, and then you're leaving it up your teammates to win. So this is a situation where you're like, hey, my teammates are garbage, but realistically, you're the one trying to die and then hope that your teammates win. Like, just don't rely on your teammates as much, and you won't get upset when they throw. Like, yeah, but you're also throwing. You know what I mean? So it's like, do your teammates suck, or do they think you suck because you're that first guy that goes and dies at the start of the round, right? So just because that could have gone one of two ways. You either kill them or you die. And if you die, your team thinks you're throwing, and now they think you're ass, and then they suck and they lose, and now you think they're ass, and everyone thinks each other is ass, and that's how silver works, okay? So don't think like that. Just rely on yourself and criticize yourself instead of thinking about your teammates, because realistically, you're making the exact same mistakes that they are. We're on Glaz. I also don't recommend Glaz. Very difficult operator to play well. Let's see if he can do it right. Again, go watch my beginner tier list, like, or just top 10 beginner operators, and only play them, because you're hurting yourself by playing Glaz. There's so much better operators that you can get so much more value out of. Even right now, you're doing nothing. You can watch the window for a jump out. You can watch this window for a jump out. You're staring at an empty wall and just hoping things go well. All right, so we're trolling by picking Hibana. That's crazy. All right, no big deal. So we've used the smoke. Let's see this again. We've used the smoke. We're peeking into it. And we're just hoping we get peeked. Okay, see, this is not how you play Glaz, because what are you doing? You're relying on them to make really, really dumb decisions, like peeking into a smoke grenade when you're playing Glaz. And if they have any ears whatsoever, then they know you're on Glaz, they just don't peek. And your team's not planted, your team's not doing anything, so what is this actually achieving? Literally nothing. Literally nothing. You're just begging that they peek you. One guy's a moron, so you will get a kill. That's great, because people will make mistakes in silver, but at the same time, what happens when no one peeks? Then what is your game plan? Well, now you have no utility. You're just going to walk in and hope that you can find them. Like, it's a terrible strategy. That's all it is. And the stronger your strategy, like, another moron. Here we go. The stronger your strategy is, the less you have to rely on the other team being bad. And that's why you can't rank up, because you are relying on them being bad. And the second you play slightly better players, you can't beat those players. So your hidden MMR goes, oh no, we're actually not good enough to beat gold. So we're going to keep your hidden MMR in silver. So the system is keeping you in this rank because you can't beat anyone who is slightly better than this rank. That's why you're stuck. So play in a way that will beat better players, because if you keep playing to bait for kills on silvers, you will not beat golds. And when you don't beat golds, you won't rank up. It's really that simple. You just have to improve your own gameplay, guys. How do you do that? You don't rely on shitty plays from the defense. So we know Azami's here. Again, we're hoping he peeks him. How does this Azami win the round? He could just sit here and make you plant. He could just sit here and not peek ever. He could just sit here the whole time. Because eventually, and he knows this, eventually you have to push in this breach and try to plant the bomb, or push through the entire bomb site, in which both cases he could just sit here and hold the cross and then shoot you when you hop in. Like, you're not doing anything. Terrible Glaz gameplay. What should you do with Glaz? Save your smokes, drone it out, figure where they are, and then once you figure out where they are, you can smoke here, you can smoke here, you can walk into the room, peek these smokes for main, peek the guy connector as your teammate is planting the bomb. That's how you play Glaz. Are you ever going to do that? Probably not. It's way too hard. Stop playing Glaz. Baiting. I'm going to skip forward because I don't want to watch Baiting Simulator for the next 5 minutes. All right. Yep. What do you know? He hasn't entered the building yet. Hasn't entered the building. Oh, he's still baiting on the breach. Still baiting on the breach. No surprise. Moron alert. Okay. Team is bad. Other team is bad. Wow. Okay. Other team's all peeking you and throwing. Now you can run in. Why? Because it's 4v1 and you like to throw. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, so anyway, basically you did exactly what I said, and luckily the other team is ass. Again, if the other team is any slightly better at not peeking you the entire round, you will not win. You will not win if the other team is slightly less ass, aka gold, aka the team that's always beating you and keeping you in silver. But on the bright side, you are doing direct takes. That's good. We just need to learn to use our utility to actually take the space, using the utility to force gunfights, to force them into disadvantages. And that is with a flashbang, that is with a grenade, that is with the smokes, but pushing off of them, not sitting and hoping you get peeked. And again, here's that run out. Here's that run out. This is why I said you should have been watching last round. Why? Because things like this happen, and this guy almost killed you. What are you doing again? Aimed at nothing. You're aimed at nothing, you're not watching anything, and you're in the middle of the open for a library hop out. So if this guy can aim, you just died. If this guy can aim at all, you just died. But look at how this guy, look how bad this guy is. Okay? This is not silver aim. This is not silver aim, okay? This guy has the aim of a 4-year-old with no thumbs. Look at bop, 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 bop. Might be the worst trigger finger and aim of all time. So if that guy's gold, you're probably dead 10 seconds sooner, right? And if you're dead, the rest of the round doesn't matter. So just aim at the fucking window, dude. Like, what are you doing? You don't even learn your lesson after because you're just sitting in the middle of the open still. Just aim at stuff. You can't open this wall anyway. There's nothing else to do. This is also you. I do want to point out you going Glaz here is also completely relying on your team to do something. And if your teammates don't do their job, you can't do yours. That is a bad thing to do when you solo queue, because if you are relying on your teammates and they die, which they do often, or they just don't go where you want, which they do equally as often because we're in a terrible rank and teammates suck all the time, or they're just doing different things and want to do their own strategy, then you are completely screwed. So don't go all in on your teammates to actually open stuff, because then you end up in situations like this where your Mav isn't there for a minute or whatever, or maybe he goes and dies and now you can't get the breach. Now you have to come up with a whole new plan that's going to be a lot worse and not as effective and not what you're used to, and you're just going to lose. So maybe pick an operator that you can actually do your own thing with and create pressure yourself and create value for your team without relying on your team. And that's something I preach constantly on this channel, because it's important if you want to win. You can't rely on bad teammates. You know they're bad, you say they're bad, and then you still rely on them the entire time. What's up with that? That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, anyway, you're like peeking this like a moron the entire time. Like, anybody peeking you or watching this whole, like, even passively like this from main stairs, I'll show you. I'll give you an example of what you just did. What's the problem with the way you're peeking this? Let's say I'm a defender and I'm just holding an angle on the breach right here. Where am I aiming? Well, I'm aiming right in this hole. Why am I aiming at this hole? Because you have to crouch into it and you have to peek it from the right side. So I'm just sitting here, maybe a head glitch on the bomb, holding an angle on the hole. Now let's watch what you do. You just died. You just died. You peeked into my angle. You just died. Why? Because I'm already holding the angle and you're crouching into it very slowly so I can pre-fire you before you do it. And look where you're aiming. Like, my head's here, you're dead. Terrible. Terrible choice to stick your face in a tiny breach that they are absolutely aiming at if they are there. Like, if they are there, you just died. That is not math that's on your side, dude. That's not helping you. Baiting for kills. I mean, we're just doing the same thing. This is the same problem every single round. We are sitting baiting for kills, hoping our teammates do something. You're not taking control of the round. You're hoping your teammates make the winning plays every single freaking round. And yeah, we've said this before, guys. You got those of you who have watched Spectating Nightmares before, you know that this is the case for most people in this rank, is that we are baiting. And when you finally do push, in the last 5 seconds, you decide to enter the building. What's the problem now? You have no info. You have no utility. You have no idea where they are. And because of this, you are getting flanked and shot in the side of the head, and you're looking at neither, because you don't know what's going on, because you don't know how to use a drone or a single piece of utility to take any space. But once you learn how to do that, you'll get way better. You'll get way better instantly the second you learn to do that. So I don't think it's a lack of potential. I think it's you looking at the scoreboard saying, I'm 7-1, my team sucks. When realistically, you're 7-1 because the other team is ass, and your teammates are trying to do the things that result in wins, and you're not helping them do that. That's why you think your team sucks. But you look at the scoreboard and think, they can't get kills, I can. If everybody baited like you wouldn't have won a single round this game, I can tell you that. Well, probably the first one, because you did kill a few guys the first round. So I get kind of heated when people get these egos like, I'm the best, my team sucks. It just makes me so mad, because it's just such a lack of perspective, dude. It's such a lack of perspective. Like, your teammates are trying to do specific things that you're not helping them with. And those specific things are actually the things that win the rounds, not just sitting and baiting for kills. That's not how you win in this game. All right, so we're playing on site. That's good. I mean, I do think think, like in most ranks, you can just sit on site and hold the important things. The question is, can you hold it the right way? We're also playing Thorn, which is like, this operator is going to get outdated in Silver really quick. Golds are not going to die to Thorn traps. Silvers might. This trap's okay, but the information's late. Like, he's already deep in sight by the time this goes off and you're dead. I mean, theoretically, if the castle's not there, etc., etc. So I'm not like nitpicking too hard right now. We'll see how he actually plays off the Thorn traps. You can shoot these. You just shoot the red part. You can shoot these. There was absolutely no reason not to shoot that. Unless you just don't know. They thermited a castle. Okay, so you see this same terrible Osa strategy. How do you counter this strategy? You don't peek it. You make them jump in. You sit here and hold an angle. Then when they vault, they have to vault right here and you're already looking at them. This is the easiest probably thing to counter in the entire game. Or if you have impact, you impact swing it and pre-fire and then they're dead, right? Again, we're peeking into the angle. Like, if they just hold this angle, like, if this thermite keeps holding this and you peek into it again, you are just gonna die. Like, make them push. You see how you play? You sit and bait for kills, and then when you run out of time, you run the building and die. Do the same thing to them. Don't give them the kills when they're baiting, and then when they run in, you kill them and they die, and then you win. Like, it's really that straightforward. Okay, we're leaving the site for some reason. We are trying to hit a flank on the big window. We are jumping out for no reason at all. That was insane. Okay, here. Firstly, we don't really know this area is clear, especially with this ace hole. Running into this area, you're exposing yourself to anyone who might be on the rappel here. Anyone on a rappel here is going to kill you. They have a massive advantage. They could be upside down. They could be regular rappel. This is silly. This is how you die. Why? Because they don't even have the breach. Again, they have to push through a single doorway. This is great for you. This is great. You know what's not great? Jumping into a claymore with 3 people looking at you. Okay? You know what you can do instead? This is what you can do instead this time. You just go to the right of the window. Look, oh wow, I can see their whole team and I can shoot them and I'm not in the middle of the open and I'm not in a claymore and I can move and duck away and I have mobility. The second you decide to vault, you cannot go back anymore. So you are stuck in this animation. They can pre-fire you. There's no more predictability. The fact you actually killed one of them is a miracle. Now, you downed him, so he's probably not even going to get finished. That may have actually been the Ella, to be honest. So just don't jump out when they are all there. I mean, that should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, Ella actually killed that guy, so never mind. Yeah, that was... Look how Cade's doing. Oh my god, this guy's just proving our point perfectly. Look how Cade kills these guys. What does he not do? Jump out the fucking window. Yeah, exactly. That's right. Good job, guys. He has cover. He's safe. He can run away if he needs to. He can swing the other guy now. He's not jumping into a crossfire. Let's see if he kills him. Let's see if he gets the kill. Oh. He almost did. He had a much better chance than you did, I can tell you that. I think really what we're seeing here is baiting for kills the first round, getting a 4K, thinking you're the best, and then doing way too much, saying, my team's bad, I gotta do everything, I gotta get all the kills, I gotta, they're so ass, I gotta jump outside and hit a nasty 180 flick after hitting a 2K and shooting the Claymore, and I have to make these impossible plays to win now because my team is so bad. That's your problem. And how do I know this? Because I do this. I've done this before too. My team is so bad. When I'm playing solo queue and I think my team is the worst fucking players of all time, and sometimes they are. I get it. I've been there. Sometimes they are really just genuinely so bad. And then you start playing like they're really bad. That's where the problems start. That's when you start playing bad because you're doing really dumb things to compensate for your team, hoping that it helps, and it doesn't. It doesn't help. We've all been there, guys. We've all been there. It happens in the lowest ranks and the highest ranks in the game. This is why ego is the enemy. This is why you have to tame your ego and realize that everyone on your team is contributing something, or at least trying to. Now, our defenses are really bad. Why? We're running into the crossfires. Like, there was a guy big window. You could have just died. We're running around here freely. They could just walk up here. As you can see, Thatcher's already deep. Like, he could just be up here if your Cade misses him. We're not playing in cover. We're not playing positionally. We're just running around looking for kills. And that's just, again, it's just a problem. I mean... You should go watch my video from last week. The one skill pros use to instantly win more gunfights. Go watch that after. It's going to teach you about information, utility, and map control. And that's going to stack advantage in your favor, and it's going to get you way more kills by playing smart. It's about thinking and playing smart, which is what you need as a player right now. It's not as simple as don't play Glaz, don't play Osa. It's more complicated than that. You need to stop focusing on getting kills. And this is better. This is better. You're not re-swinging. That's great. Back up. That's a nade. They blow up. We're holding angles. This is good. This is good. Now this is bad. Now this is bad. Why? Because you're in the middle of the open. And this is the... watch your gameplay back. Like, literally just for all of you. You guys all join the Discord. You're all like, watch my Spectating Nightmares. You come to the stream, watch mine, please. I need tips. Like, I don't know. I've watched all the Spectating Nightmares. I still don't know. Go into your own fucking game, dude. Put yourself in their shoes. Maybe something you've never done in your life. If you do that, you'll be a better person and you'll be better at Rainbow Six Siege. So what you'll do is you'll be like, this knock, if he's pushing here, if there's a guy pushing here, what are they aiming at? What are they thinking if they push this hallway? Well, I'll tell you the answer if you couldn't figure it out. They're aiming at this fucking door. Why? Because you can't come from anywhere else. So what happens when you peek this door, you know they're there and you go back? Where do you think they're aiming? They're still aiming at the door. That's right. So when you peek it again, if there is a guy here sitting in cover aiming at the door, what's gonna happen? Yeah, you get shit on and die and lose. That's why you don't do it. And then your brain has registered the fact that this is a stupid play. And once you know it's a stupid play, you stop doing it. Now you know for next time, I should not re-peek Ivy hallway. Or you figure out, which is even better, you've gone next level. You figure out, oh, if I reinforce this wall and make head holes here, then before this breach is open, I can peek from either of the two ways. Because now they worry about the door and the head holes. And what happens when they're doing that? They might pick the wrong way, right? Maybe you peek them from here and shoot some bullets, then you run back around and peek them from the head holes because they're aiming at the door now and you've baited them. Or you have a bulletproof camera on this wall and you can see exactly where they are. And now that you have information, you know the perfect time to swing when they're looking the wrong way. Wow. The power of information and just a simple thought of where can they be looking. The more you do this, the better you will get. And I don't know how hardcore you are about the game. I assume most of you guys play this game for fun and play it pretty casually. And as I say that, he gets a 2K on people who are not paying attention. And again, we are relying on them being bad, which is why it is not smart. It is not smart if you can break it down and understand that they should only be looking here. It's just not smart to swing that. If you have better aim than them, you can get away with it, right? If you're freaking Ambi, yeah, he can swing this doorway and fry me. Why? Because I suck. My aim is garbage. I'm going to get shit on no matter how many advantages I have because he will hit that headshot across onto the blue stairs because he's fucking nasty, okay? And if you're that nasty, all my information is practically invalid. Well, it's not invalid. It just makes life harder. But Ambi doesn't do that in Pro League. Why? Because it's harder because they also have good aim. I mean, sometimes he does, and it is fucking nasty, his fucking clip. But my point stands. I don't know. I don't know if that made any sense. Most people probably won't even understand that. So again, we're just running at the last guy, pretty much making all the common mistakes. I mean, he has to plant the bomb. We're running at him. We're dying. Classic. That's how you throw. Again, that's how you throw. I don't know. I don't even know if it's worth watching the rest of these rounds because this is just like, what are you doing, man? Back on the Thorn. Let me guess. He's going to run around the map and try to shoot people. All right, we're checking the defaults. That's good. So you know where they're coming. You know this guy's lobby. Now what are you going to do? So you know this guy's lobby by your hatch. What are you going to do? Are you going to act on the information and flank this guy? Because there's so many flank routes here. Ask yourself again, where can this guy be watching? He can watch main stairs, bar, dining hall, upstairs, right? He has a bunch of different possibilities for flank routes. So now that you know he's here, why don't you just walk up? Why don't you just walk up and play aggressive on the staircase? Oh, well, actually, this is probably why. I guess we shouldn't have skipped most of the round. Oh, that's good. At least you're aware. He does know, I think. You hear the thorn trap go off, so you know they're there. Okay, so you're not going to do that. Great. We're making the safe play. We're not flanking. Good decision. I mean, we have all the utility. You could just play on this shelf. Here's the thing. When this wall is shut and they can't open the wall, you can play on this wall. It's a really good spot. Why? Because when they walk down the stairs, now you have a three-way crossfire. Then I don't have to worry about this, and this. They're getting shot from every direction if you're playing on the breach. And the floor is not open, so you don't have to worry about getting floor bang. Okay, so we're playing a little more passive this time. That's good. We're holding angles. This is what you want to see more often. This is a much better round than what we saw last time. Why? Because you're in cover. Like, you can only die from main stairs, right? Everything else is protected and covered by your teammates. This is a great defense. You just have to stay alive and hold main stairs. And now you're peeking in the middle of the open, which is fine because he did also peek in the middle of the open. You just want to be careful. Like, you could just sit here and lean off the shelf and hold a pixel peek on the stairs. Look at how you fight this guy. This is just going to help you learn. And do this, guys. Look at his perspective, okay? What's easier, to kill you when you're there or kill you when you're tucked behind the shelf and only showing your head? Well, the answer is pretty obvious. This is the worst way to peek this because if this guy can aim, you're dead. And I'll show you. This guy can't aim. I already know it just based on this gunfight. Look. This guy's got the worst aim in the entire world. Like, no wonder you're winning this gunfight. If this guy has slightly better aim, he is winning the gunfight because you're at a disadvantage. You want to stack the advantages. Play in cover. Hold an angle. You're in the middle of the open leaning the wrong way. You're picking this guy when he can see you before you can see him. Look what you're doing. Just watch your games back, man. I swear, if you're in this rank, you just gotta watch your games back and be like, is this a winning fight for you? He can see you. Do you think you can see him? Well, he can only see your toes, so probably not. Actually, you can see him, but wow, that's actually crazy. Oh, you can actually see him forever. Wait, why can... Okay, perspective's a funny thing. It's because he's closer to this. He's closer to this wall than you are to this wall, so he can see you. Or sorry, you can see him and he can't see you. So that wall's actually blocking his vision. So actually, you're fine here. You're actually fine to take this fight. But you do have to shoot him. Is the only thing we miss is the part where you aim and shoot him, because that's what got you killed. If you peek it from the other side of the bomb, you are at a disadvantage though. Let's be clear about that. If you are peeking around this bomb and you're coming up to main, he can already see you when you're here. That's one thing you have to be aware of. If you're swinging this close from main, he will kill you. If you're swinging from here, apparently it's fine, which is kind of cool. I didn't even know that. So even I learned things about advantages and perspectives in this. I also learned that you don't know how to see the enemies, but that's fine. Well, luckily this is our last round. You guys do win. You went 10-4, which is fine, but most of those kills were baiting. I believe 7 or 8 kills was you just baiting on attack. We want to break that cycle. Those are not impact frags. Those are frags that rely on bad play. I feel like I hammered that point home. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was a rough one. We'll see you next week.